Hey, I should warn you, just to get started, like this episode is more about photography in general, less about gear. And this gorgeous Graflex is here only for illustrative purposes, and we are not going to talk about it. You can look at it, feel free to look at it, but we are not going to discuss about it. Instead, I had something else on my mind. I met Christopher Osborne the other week. He writes for Silvergrain Classics Magazine. It's an awesome photography publication. And they also have a pretty neat website, so I put a link down to the description page so you can take a look at it. Now, we spent about an hour on the video conference with Christopher. We talked about, photography, about some gear stuff, about life in general and all that, and I had such a great time. And he wrote a really nice article about my photography, and I put that link down there too. So anyway, at one point Christopher asks me, what are my photography goals? What are my goals as a photographer? And I did not have answer to that. Like, I have never thought about it that way. I've just shot individual pictures, like just go and shoot, like pictures like this. So as you can see, these are all over the place, and so Christopher's questions, what are my goals, got me thinking. There are a couple of basic rules or ways of thinking about life in general that I believe in. Like that you can do anything you want, but you can't do everything you want. And that if you like to do something and you keep on doing it, you eventually become pretty good at it. And then maybe the third one, the sailor's approach, like the journey is more important than the destination. Like you can set a goal, but the goal is not important, it's the way to get there. Like if you are sailing, you are already there. Anyhow, so Christopher asked me what are my goals as a photographer, and I have never thought about them. And now, then after the interview, the discussion, I thought about that a bit, and then I was a little bit scared of thinking about that more, because I so much enjoy the freedom of photography, because it's not I don't make a living out of it, so I can do anything I want to do. And I was a little bit afraid that if I start to set goals, am I going to ruin it? Am I going to make it more like my work where I need to set goals and I need to achieve goals and all that? But then eventually I decided that, okay, I'll write down some goals for my photography. And if nothing else, just for the heck of it. And then as I wrote them, I thought that was pretty interesting, and that got me thinking about a lot of things. And then I thought that what if I share them with you, and not as an example of good goals, but more like maybe that could help your photography. Maybe you could do the same. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I found them useful, but I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna try to reach those goals, if I'm gonna do any of those. Hey, so sorry, this is all over the place. Let's take a look at the goals. I'll walk them through, and I don't know, maybe there's something. So you need to start with the title. Okay, then let's set some goals. First, create solid bodies of work that I can be proud of. Solid bodies of work instead of just randomly shooting around. Create series, create themes, something that has more than just one picture. And that I can be proud of. Like the bar is not yet that high, it's just my personal judgment. Something that I can be proud of. Then create my own recognizable style. That is something that I'd really like to do, and I don't know if I'm getting there at all, and I don't know how to measure that. I would like to have a style where somebody looks at my picture and he says like, that it's probably taken by Ari. That would be really cool. Then become recognized as an artist. I think that I'd like to have some validation for my work. Like the previous two, I can be proud of, and my own recognizable style, that's internal. That's something that I set for myself. But then recognize as an artist is an external validation for my work. I think that would be cool. Evoke emotions in viewers. Very important. Once again, I don't know how to measure this, but it's even more important than any of the above. Get my work in people's eyes and hands. That's very concrete. I'd like people to have my work and have it on their walls, on their computer, wherever. That would be really cool. And then enjoy the process. Let's not forget about that. The sailor's approach. So here are my goals. Now, as we go through goals, I think that it's equally important to set non-goals. And here are my non-goals. It's okay to achieve these, but I'm not gonna do anything to achieve this. Like, I just don't care. I don't need to make money. Well, as I said, I do something else for a living, so I don't need to make any money. I don't wanna work for order. I don't want to get a phone call saying, like, could you come here and take wedding photos, or would you please take a portrait of me? I mean, if friends do that, that's okay, but I don't want to work for order. I don't want to teach or organize workshops. Now, I do these YouTube channels more to clarify my own thinking than anything else, and to meet interesting people. I just don't want to organize workshop and teach. It's just like too much work. Okay, then I don't need to become famous. Like, I just don't need that. And I don't need to perfect the process. I don't get a kick out of knowing exactly what developer to use and all that. So I think currently my approach to photography is to go more with the feeling than with the technology. Like, I understand the need of process and understanding the process and technical parts, but I don't want to set any goals for that. I try to learn as much as I need to learn to achieve the other goals. So here are my non-goals. By the way, as I told you, like, my idea here was that maybe you should do the same for yourself. Or maybe not, I don't know. Now, I've made similar goals, non-goals for my work multiple times. So now, as I'm in this phase, it starts to feel more like, yeah, I know how to do this stuff. I mean, setting the goals. So then I go to the next miserable phase, which is to do a SWOT analysis. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Now bear with me, like, this is really childish, but I thought about me as a photographer, and just very much like trying to analyze myself. This is not science, this is more like feelings. Where am I with photography? What kind of photographer am I? So I think my strengths are, and I have an opinionated eye. I'm looking at my pictures or somebody else's picture, I pretty soon have an opinion whether I like it or not, and what I like about it and what I don't like about it. And then I think that I am creative in photography. Like, I do all kind of crazy shit. If that's creativity, doing all kind of stuff, then I got it. So those are my strengths. I got an eye, some kind of an opinionated eye, and I do all kind of crazy shit. Yeah, that's not a good list of strengths, but that's all I got. Then what about my weaknesses? I like to work by myself. I don't like people, so that's my weakness. And I have no art training of any sort. I also consider that a weakness. No art training. What are my opportunities in this space? I have no financial pressure. I can do whatever I want to do. I don't need to make money. And then I stumbled upon film. When I started photography, I started it with film. Film is a late discovery to me. I discovered it just a few years ago. I haven't shot film in the past. I don't have that legacy. So for me, it's a new discovery. And it gives me a palette. It gives me something that is slightly different than what everybody else has. So to me, that's an opportunity. And then finally, threats. Stagnation, like I end up doing more the same old, and I get get tired of it eventually and I stop doing it. You know, that's with everything you do, like, or at least everything I do, that you just grow tired of it and then you stop doing it. So that's a risk, that's a threat. And then there is this inbuilt mistrust of myself, that there's a lack of talent, that I don't really have what it takes. Now remember earlier when I said that I believe that if you like to do something, you eventually become good at it. But then there is another side, is that maybe I run out of time, maybe I don't have the years left to perfect this and become good at it. So I don't know. I keep on trying, but I may run out of time. I'm not a young dude anymore, so that's a possibility. So here's my SWOT analysis. So then, what are the actions from the goals, non-goals, and my SWOT analysis? What are the actions I derive from those? First of all, create bodies of work, organize my photography as projects, go and shoot. That sounds pretty exciting, actually. And I have already a couple of ideas about the projects. You know, some of them really something that I could do within a day, and some more elaborate projects that I could do over the next year or so. Just create some kind of a theme or body of work. And then the second one, seek for feedback. Participate appropriate competitions, select carefully. Like I already participated a few photography competitions and I won a few of them. And then in some cases I've got an honorable mention and all that. You know, in those cases you look at the winner pictures and you just like they are so much better than mine. So especially those when I don't win, I find them useful because clearly the winner pictures are better. Now you need to select these competitions carefully. They need to be from the same sort of thinking, from the same stylistic approach than your photography. I would never participate those flashy Photoshop competitions or those that are, you know, won by the popular vote or any of that sort. I gravitate more towards fine art and more towards sort of intellectual. You know, that's what I thrive for. I'm not here to win the popular vote, so I don't care. So that's why I select carefully my competitions. And then talk to artists that are willing to discuss. I know a few photographers and I should spend more time with them, you know, just talking and just trying to understand what they're doing and why they are doing, because they have formal training, they have years of experience. I got just a few years, so I could use them as a catapult to push me forward faster. Third one, distribute my work. Remember, one of my goals was to, what was it? It was get my work in people's eyes and hands. So now here we go, distribute my work. Instagram, maybe I should think about more my Instagram strategy. Now it's, for me, it's just the process of posting something every day and working 5 minutes on a picture just to be active on finalizing and post-processing my picture. But maybe I should have an Instagram strategy to get it into people's hand. This YouTube channel, you know, if I really wanted to be a better photographer, I would concentrate more on photography, less on gear. The gear videos get all the clicks, and these kind of videos that we are having right now, these won't get almost any clicks, so I don't know. But I'm not here for the clicks, I'm here for photography, so maybe I should do that. And then, as a part of distributing my work, make prints and offer them with zero profit. Don't print for order, print only pictures that are worth of printing. So what I'm thinking right now, that maybe I should build an inventory of good prints. Just go to my darkroom and just print pictures that I really like, and then offer them to the highest bidder, or just almost give them out for free, just to get them into people's hand. Because one of my goals was to do that, and I would really like people to enjoy my work. And right now what I've done, I actually sell my prints, but I put the price so high that nobody orders them. And that was a reason, that was a way for me to protect myself from work to be ordered. Like, I don't want to do something, somebody, wants that picture and asks me to do it. I don't want to do that. But the way around is to do only the pictures I want to do, only to print the pictures I want to print, and then basically give them out for free. Then last, I have no formal training. I have no training in art or in photography. So I should do something about it. And there's no way. I got a PhD in software engineering. I got a master's in education. I spent 2 lives worth on the school benches, so I won't do that anymore. I know how to study. I'm pretty good at it. So I should study now, especially 19th century painters. That's what I sort of gather. That's where I should go. I just study them. There are a lot of resources. I should go to the library, loan some books. I should go online and just spend time studying painters. I believe, I have no reason why, but I just believe that studying painting would be my way of getting better in photography. And then some miscellaneous. Portraits. I would really love to do portraits. Because I don't like people. I don't like to do portraits because there are people in portraits, and then you need to talk to people if you shoot portraits. But I need to find a way to shoot portraits. That's something I would like to do. And then I was thinking, maybe if I want to start to be more goal-oriented, I should start to keep a diary. Something about my journey, something more coherent about how to achieve these goals. Yeah. Hey, what I like about these goals is that they are pretty actionable. I think they are fairly honest. I could do them all. I'm mostly excited about 2. I'm mostly excited about starting to study painters. I'm probably gonna do that. And then the other one was that, what if I just start to print my work and handle it out for free? That sounded like a lot of fun too. Am I gonna set really goals for my work and really start to think about it so goal-oriented? I don't know. Is it gonna take the enjoyment out of photography for me? I honestly don't know. I'm torn. But hey, it was a lot of fun to do this. I don't know if that was a lot of fun to follow my thinking and long video about it, but I highly recommend that you do the same kind of thing for yourself and your photography. It doesn't take that long time to do it, and it certainly helps you to understand how you think about your own photography. And at least for me, that was kind of interesting. See you later.